Hello, it's Sharon Taylor, founder and CEO of the Business Vision and Development Center. And today we're on the coaching couch with Yvonne Lorraine, and we're going to talk about guilt. Come on, give it to us.
Ooh, we talking about guilt. So welcome everybody. As Sharon has already shared, we're gonna talk about that word guilt. We're gonna talk about it from a couple of different points for real.
Okay.
Okay, so when we talk about guilt, you have the person who feels guilty about something, and you have the person who creates their own guilty feeling about something as well.
Okay.
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 So when we think about our situations, and like I said, there's several different opportunities to experience feeling guilty or somebody trying to make you feel guilty. And if I want to think about it, let's say in a working environment, for example.
Okay.
So you can have a situation going on with a coworker. Um, people, we never know how people are going to take what's being said to them, right? So, but one thing we do know, we always have to just be honest and truthful, and our deliverance is very important, right?
Okay.
But when a person feels guilty about something that they've done, or if you feel guilty about something that you did or did not do for someone, then like we have spoken about it in some other episodes, Sharon, you really can only control yourself for real. You really can only deal with yourself, even about the guilt, right?
Right.
So it's important to not allow other people to put the guilt trip on us.
Oh, the guilt trip. The old
It's a guilt,
hashtag guilt trip.
it's a guilt trip, man.
Let's put a pin in it right there because especially with family members, a lot of times they'll want you to do something and let's just say borrow some money, and this family member is never going to pay you back.
Right.
And so you're going to either give it in the spirit of giving it and knowing you're not going to give it back, or you say, nah, I'm not going to give you this $20. Then they go into, oh, you just going to let my water be turned off? You just going to let my family go hungry? That's a guilt trip.
That is a guilt trip, Sharon. I'm glad, I was going to save the best for last talking about family, right? But family is good for it, and if you think about it, that like grows over time. It grows and develops over time, building up to the guilt. And then once we get them to come to family members, it's real hard to break loose feeling guilty because, yeah, it's like a stronghold or something, for real. So, and I had a perfect example that I wanted to use for that as well. So, okay, we can have one of our family members. We have our traditions on what we like to do, right? Holidays, we like to get together, do this, do that. Well, okay, so you get married. Now you have to deal with another family, your spouse and your spouse's family, right? So then you say, oh, we're not coming to Thanksgiving because we got to do the other family. Then you can have a sibling saying, come on, mama not going to be right if you don't show up, all that. So now you feeling guilty because it's been a family tradition. And what I'm going to say about that is, for you, the person who they're making feel guilty, how selfish of them to do that to you, for real, right? So when I'm saying take ownership of what you're going to allow people, because they put that on you. You ain't asked for that. You don't want to carry that guilt around. And to be honest, you probably don't want us showing up anyway, because either my spouse going to be mad, it's just not going to be the energy is not going to be good,
Right.
But they do it all the time. They do it all the time. But we as individuals, we have the right to say yes and no. And if we allow people to continue to put us in that on that guilt trip, then we have created that problem. And we continue to feed that problem. So at some point we have to put on the tough love and be like, if I said no, my no was my no. I still love you, but I can't do it. And be okay with it, Sharon, because that's why the guilt is there. Because even we can say no, and you still feeling bad. It's like I should have been the one that done it.
Right. Then I'm like, a lot of times I end up just throwing my hands up and just doing it. And still the feeling is still not good either way. And they're getting satisfied. And I'm still in this hole. And they said, I knew I got her. I knew I'd get her.
And once they know where the button is, that button, they keep that button in their back pocket. So so then that's where we as the individual, we have to do the work, because it's not that easy for real. For one thing, if you're just naturally a giver and a doer anyhow, you're going to want to do it, whatever. But when there are times that you just can't do what's being asked of you, or maybe seem like it's required of you, that's where you have to really take a self-evaluation of that whole situation and determine what works for you for real. And be okay with once you decide what works for you, because it's for you.
That's the hard part, being okay with it. It's easy. Well, not easy, but for me, it's easy to state my case about why I do or won't do a certain thing. I'm real good at that. The hard part for me is being okay with it. I'll fling my body on the bed. I'll call you. I'll lament. It just takes over so much of my energy.
Exactly.
Because you don't want to hurt people. But I am learning, and people are learning. Just don't ask that of her, because she don't ask me to do nothing after 6:00, because she is just not going to do it.
Right.
And the guilt starts to subside after you stay in your ground and people know what your boundaries are.
So then I would say to that, then you have to ask yourself why. At that point, because at that point it's no longer the other person or whatever's going on. It's really you now. It's really on you, because you've already given your answer. So then it's just the work that we have to continue to do within ourselves, to get us to that place where, and it takes work, Sharon, because everybody, different personalities, it takes a little more for others, So, but the only thing is, at least start, and just know that you're committing to you in what you're doing, because we live in a selfish world. People don't, people will squeeze it all out of you and be like, oh, she could do it. Or, and depending on how you are, you could be like looked at as the stronger one and the one that gets everything done. And people forget, well, that may be true, but we not wonder people. We're not magical, No, when we say no, there's a reason why we're saying no. We cannot do it. So
and I have told people numerous times, no is a complete answer. And I have stopped myself from going into these long explanations.
I knew you was gonna say that.
The dog, the tire,
before you know it, you're lying. Look, then before you know it, you done told a lie because you're trying not to hurt their feelings. It's like, just tell the truth.
I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Right. It's as easy. It really is as easy as that. For real. And like I said, if you tell somebody that, most likely, I mean, how many more choices do they have? Right? It's how we feel after we say it.
I
That,
don't want to do it, and I'm not going to do it.
yeah, that easy. It's really that easy. And it's
Well,
okay, right?
it's okay.
It's okay. Look, you said it as nice as you could. You know,
Well,
it's really, I'm sorry.
I was just getting ready to say, well, thank you, Yvonne.
Yeah, look, I was just gonna say it's just unfortunate that we have nurtured this society to think that we are not, that it's not okay to say no, I cannot.
Right.
You
And that
know,
is, and that, and you were right when you were saying it's selfish. So the person who wants you to do something feel that their needs are more important than how you feel.
right?
Because when people tell me uh, they can't do something, I'm okay with it. I'm just okay with it because
Yeah,
I want that in return.
right, right, right,
You know, you don't have to give me an explanation. You say you don't want to do it, you can't do it. Hey, I know how that feels.
right,
I
right.
know how to be on the other side of that.
Yeah,
So
we just gotta be okay with it. You know, it's okay. Sharon, I can't do it.
yeah, and I'm not one to put pressure on someone who doesn't want to do something because you're not going to get 100%. They're going to do
No,
it begrudgingly.
yeah, energy gonna be all off. It don't work out anyway. Then you sitting there miserable and sorry that you did it.
And then they're going to come back to you wanting you to do something.
It's just a trickle down effect, you know. It just it's just not a good space. So when it comes to guilt, you know, for real, you do have to sit with yourself, think about the situation, because sometimes we might do something that would make us feel guilty for, you know, what we've done or said. That
Okay.
that's possible too, but that's for us to determine as well, because we never have control over how people receive what we give them, for real, you know. So we do have to just take that time, and like I said, take the time and do the work, because if it doesn't work for you and you really mean what you're saying about a situation that you feel is going to hurt somebody's feelings, well, pray before you talk to them. Ask God to prepare their hearts, and ask God to have you to deliver it the way that He would have you to. And when it's done, it's done.
With that being said, this is done. And thank you for joining us for the coaching couch with
Yes,
Yvonne Lorraine and dealing with guilt. We'll see you
yes.
again soon.
No guilt.
Guilt free zone.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.